Welcome to the Purpose Party, the podcast that inspires you to reset, renew, and realign. I'm your host, Tanya M., and today we're going to discover the world of beauty with the inspiring and oh so talented beauty industry educator, influencer, leader, entrepreneur, activist, and the host of the Soul Beauty podcast and talk show, Aruna Maharaj. She reveals her thoughts on the perfect face and body amid society's high beauty standards and shares the truth behind what moved her to reconnect with self and so much more. Get excited and tell your BFFs because you are all invited to the Purpose Party. Our guest today, Aruna Maharaj, educated at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, with a Bachelor of Arts in Corporate Communications, also has industrial experience in health, safety, environment, and quality management systems, having worked at a ArcelorMittal steel plant. She is also the granddaughter of the first cosmetologist in Trinidad and the managing director of the Madam Maharaj Cosmetology School, which offers an internationally accredited cosmetology program. Aruna has a large social media reach on several platforms and is a well respected and influential person in the local community. In keeping with the theme of entrepreneurship and innovation, Aruna has founded the region's first ever award ceremony for beauticians called Caribbean Beauty Awards, a nonprofit organization dedicated to recognizing excellence and elevating standards in the industry. Aruna is well traveled and has a great perspective on global cultures and communities. She respects all religions and is an activist when called to support causes that are important to her. We welcome the beautiful Aruna Maharaj to our Purpose Party.
Woohoo! That was such a very, very, very nice introduction. Thank you very much for that.
Aruna, I love what you're doing now and I love this new journey.
I appreciate that a lot. It actually means a lot that you're saying that because I mean, coming from an arena of being a social media person and posting a lot and sharing a lot about fashion, beauty, makeup, and all this online engagement for these glamorous things. And then kind of changing over into more lifestyle and mindfulness and just self-awareness. The responses have been different. And I know it's a different arena completely. I know it's a different realm, but it has been quite interesting observing the responses and stuff because I have seen unfollows, I have seen, less likes, traffic, and engagement on some posts, and it sometimes it leaves me to wonder: am I doing the right thing? Am I going in the right direction? And then I would, have an interview with you or bunk somebody up in the mall, and they'd say, "Oh my God, I love what you're doing," and I get that positive reinforcement, which is so necessary. Because I'm accustomed to so much more engagement per se, but what I'm realizing now, it's so much more about quality than quantity. So it helps a lot. Not that likes and engagement from social media is something that defines me, but it is also important to know that you're putting something out there. Granted, it's for myself, but it's equally as well for an audience. So it's good to know that those who are paying attention are seeing what they want, what they need to see, and it's reassuring. So thank you very much for reminding me that I am on the right path, and that it resonates. What I do and what I share actually does resonate, because as I said, it's now about quality than quantity.
Madam Maharaj, the School of Cosmetology, all the exciting things going on, and what can we look forward to?
Well, we're excited. The pandemic has really hit us hard, but I think we're finally coming back to balance and coming back to motivation and passion reigniting again. We actually have some talks that have started for Guyana, and possibly Jamaica. So we may be having some expansion, not just soul expansion, but business expansion as well, to some of our neighboring islands, which is something that I never really, like, I thought about it, but I never really saw it as a real possibility. But sometimes life surprises you, and you just get a random phone call and you never think it's coming, but then it comes and you're like, whoa, is this really happening? And, in a little, not just unexpected, but like, wow, like I did not think this was possible. So nothing has happened yet. The conversations are just starting. The wheels are just about starting to turn. But it is exciting to know that my grandmother's legacy could be represented not just within Trinidad, but also outside of Trinidad to our neighboring Caribbean islands. And I'm just keeping positive and going with the flow, not biting off more than I can chew because I have done things like that in the past and, I've regretted it. So I'm literally just dealing with what is on my plate at the moment and going with the flow. And that is one really amazing and exciting project that could be happening early next year for us. So, yeah.
Oh, congratulations. Something happened during your beauty journey as a beauty educator that made you connect with self on a deeper level. What was it? When was it? And how did this happen?
Yeah. So, I'm starting to realize slowly but surely, I'm 37 years old right now, by the way. And I'm starting to realize slowly but surely that my entire past, everything that has come before today, has been preparation and training ground for something else. What that something else is, I don't really know how to articulate what it's going to look like because I myself don't think I know fully. I have feelings, I have little inclinations, but to fully articulate and put into words what I think my future is going to look like or what my contribution to the world is going to be, I really don't know. And I mean, it can be as simple as starting to live off grid and having a simple family and just living in the countryside and not really accomplishing anything grand or great because I've recently redefined my definition of the word purpose. And it's interesting that we're here at the Purpose podcast. So I just feel like purpose now is not so much achieving anything grand or great, while it can be, and that's great if that's what you want to define your purpose as. But I think purpose is so subjective and it really is where you are in the moment. That's all purpose is. So if I am tending to my mom who's not too well these days, that's my purpose. If I'm at the grocery store saying hi to the cashier or the person at the cash register, that's my purpose. And so in achieving your small purpose in every moment and every day, you eventually achieve a bigger purpose. But the idea is to not focus on the bigger purpose, but to stay present in each moment, accomplishing that purpose there, and it will lead you to a higher purpose. And so I just to go back to your question about where it started and this this curiosity about myself and who I am without the labels, that's essentially what it is. It's been, I would say, quite a few years that I've been really looking within. I have been a person that has like a major wanderlust kind of person. So I love traveling. And as much as I still love traveling, I had to really be true to myself. And I realized that I was kind of running from something. And what that was myself. So sometimes we need to look at ourselves and see what we're doing as distractions, because we drown ourselves in work, we distract ourselves with partying or going out to the club or traveling a lot, or, just catching a movie, just filling the boredom, right? It's something that we all do. And nothing is wrong with it. But it's our relationship with these things that we really have to be mindful about. So I just started to realize that, look, I've been running from something and I don't know what it was, but I decided to stay put and really start things like meditation, yoga, certain practices that, I needed a lot of discipline to really sit with myself, essentially, because something like that is not easy. And so I started to do that. And then I just started to feel good. I just started to feel like I liked in exploring myself. I liked what I saw. I also had some demons inside there and some darkness that I needed to work through. And I think it's a never ending game, but that's another story. Facing things that I didn't want to face within myself, and really, really putting in the work and understanding the journey, that we're here for evolution. We're not here to remain the same. We're here to keep growing and learning and evolving. And that's kind of where it started. And the rest is history from there. I mean, if you just look through, I like the idea of having an Instagram profile where you could see phases in somebody's life. And I love now that I could look back on my profile. I literally sometimes spend a lot of time just scrolling through my past and seeing, how much I've grown and where I've come from, and not just thinking it, but also embodying it. And that's a whole different level of reaching somewhere boast worthy on the journey, when you're not just thinking it, knowing it in your mind, but you also know it in your heart and you embody it in your entire being. And that is, I think, where the game changes, because at some point you tend to look for knowledge, you tend to seek and information, and you research and you go online and you do this practice and you follow this guru, or you take advice from this influencer, these things. But like, it's all great, but until you embody that, until you choose to live that, it's like a completely different arena.
This changed how you saw beauty and your role in the beauty
Yes,
industry.
absolutely. So there were moments where again, you see, it's our relationship with beauty. It's not the industry of beauty that is the problem. And I even use the word problem very lightly, because it's not a problem. It's just creating really unattainable and unrealistic standards of beauty. And that it the it's like veils are lifting. All right. So it's like it's like you have on these glasses in life and they're just so blurry and foggy. And then you start to realize, well, after your first glasses comes off, you realize, okay, it's not just one pair of glasses I'm wearing. I'm wearing, like, I don't know how much. You don't, at this point, you don't know how much you're wearing. So now one glasses comes off and it makes you realize, okay, I have more. And then, so it's like veils lifting, like curtains just opening in front of your lenses. These just, lenses just changing. So when that initial awakening, I would call it, happened, however many years ago, um, I just, that was like a veil in itself, just about life in general. And then it started to narrow in on my unique journey, where now I'd narrowed in on beauty. And I literally felt so uncomfortable with myself that I I couldn't believe that I made a career on, yeah, making women look and feel more comfortable, which is a good thing. But also, am I encouraging them to cover and mask themselves? So there's a fine line between enhancing beauty and encouraging more self-confidence, and encouraging someone to change themselves for what? Now, if you're doing it for yourself, it's one thing. So you put on, you see women saying, well, why put on makeup? I don't put on makeup for men. I put on makeup for myself. And that's fine. That's great. And that's essentially what it's about. But how many of us are truly being true to ourselves when we say, I don't do this for other people. I do this for myself. I want every single girl listening right now or woman who's ever entered into a realm of trying to improve your body image, whether it be through filler, Botox, makeup, going to the gym even, plastic surgery, or any sort of anything at all. Ask yourself truthfully, did I really do this for me? Or did I do this for me as well as others' opinions of me? How well I would look in that picture. And nothing is wrong with the answer. There's no wrong answer to this. We're allowed to feel how we're allowed to feel. But my thing is, be true to yourself. And that's where I think it becomes difficult because it's a journey, I have to say, where we sometimes lie to ourselves. And that's where discipline comes in. I'm not talking about discipline anymore to mean going to the gym, waking up 5 a.m., studying, da 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 da. Discipline to me now means being true to yourself. And that's hard to do because we don't even know that we're lying to ourselves sometimes. So to come back to it, I felt I had to admit to myself, as much as I didn't want to, I had to admit to myself, what was I doing? I almost felt like like oh my God, I hate using this word. I almost felt like I did it in the wrong way sometimes. Um, but then there were times that I remember the good times, and I remember how many amazing smiles came through the school, and how many girls were able to build a career and put food on the table and make something of themselves. So then I was like, screw all of that. That's just me, my shadow telling me things, my guilt, my this, my that, my martyr syndrome, trying to say, well, beauty is about within, and why were you doing that? And why are you putting so much emphasis on the without and the outside? Again, it's all this just confuzzlement and confusement of of emotions. And then clarity came. So clarity came in the time when it was meant to come. And to be honest, when I look at the alignment of things, that whole dark period of not really feeling proud of the beauty industry, because of society's unrealistic expectations and the pressure that it puts on us, that period of being not too proud of myself was actually smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. So it's crazy that what happens in the world is a stimulus for what's happening within as well, and it is a reflection of that. And we just don't pay attention enough to see it. But I really try to pay attention to what's happening around me as well as what's happening within me, because I do believe that they are interconnected. So thankfully that phase has gone, and I'm back to seeing beauty as something beautiful. However, my relationship to it has changed. So it's no longer, I will not be wearing any excessive amounts of cut crease and glitter and heavy lashes and bold brows and extreme contouring. I used to be the type of person that had my nails done. Literally, I had the appointments at the nail tech every 2 to 3 weeks, going back for a refill, doing different colors. I mean, there was a phase where it was like stiletto and gems and all the different things. And then it went into simply a lovely, nice, short, scoval shaped gel polish. And it used to be different colors for a while. And that was great for me. That was enough for me. But then I literally just didn't feel to do my nails anymore. So now I would do regular polish on my toes, which I do for myself. Even if I have to go to a wedding recently, I'm probably doing my nails because of what people may think than me actually wanting to do my nails, because I like my nails short and cute. I genuinely do. I don't think I need to put anything on them. Once they're short and they look clean to me, I think my nails are great. But like it's so difficult to change something that has been inside of you and a part of you, a perspective about quote unquote being kept or unkept, or staying abreast of the social standards and social expectations, especially coming from an industry that I came from. Because I dress brides for a living. I went and attended to so many weddings in my life. So like I know what it is to have your nails done, your makeup done, your hair done, everything down to a T, for a wedding. Not just for the bride, but that is what beauty has evolved into. It's also for the guests at the wedding. But I'm not going to lie to you. There was a time when I was growing up, starting to do makeup and stuff like for brides. I'm talking 17 years old and stuff. Um, I was mostly doing brides. It was a niche that not a lot of people were doing at the time. It wasn't even trending. But my mom genuinely loved Bollywood, and she loved Indian clothes and dressing up in Indian wear and stuff. So before cable TV and all of that, she used to just go to the theaters. There were two Indian, like specific for Indian movies, Indian cinemas in San Fernando called Metro and Nudie Luke's. My mom used to go to that just to see the Indian movies and how the Bollywood stars would be dressed. And it was just genuinely something that she liked to do. So around her friends and family, she would just say, well, I don't mind dressing you. And she would dress them. And then not a lot of people know this, but my mom is not Madam Maharaj's daughter. My mom is Madam Maharaj's daughter-in-law. My dad is actually one of Madam Maharaj's sons. So all this now is happening before she even enters into the Maharaj family, before she even meets my dad or marries my dad. She's dressing brides as a hobby on the sidelines based on what she saw on TTT on a Sunday, because they would show an Indian movie on a Sunday, and based on what she would go to the theater to see. And she would actually use, those dots that they have at the top of the eyebrows. She would use red nail polish and liquid paper, red nail polish and liquid paper, red nail polish and liquid paper to do these dots at the top of the eyebrows. And I have photos of it, and I remember seeing it as a child. And then, she meets my dad, she gets married into this family. My grandmother passes away. She leaves the business now for my dad, who had sacrificed a lot for his younger brother's educations. So, mom is there now integrating into this business. And literally, that is how bridal dressing became a thing with us as a teenager, helping out my mom. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, but it's crazy to see that it evolved from just dressing a bride to then the bridal party. And now all the guests that go to her wedding. It's crazy where the beauty expectations and the beauty standards has reached and how fast it has evolved. Literally, I am not even a full lifetime. I am half of a lifetime, and well, even less than half of a lifetime. And beauty has evolved so much. Don't even get me started on makeup manufacture. It's like I've literally seen Trinidad not have anything but 3 makeup brands. There was a time when I was alive, just as recent as when I was alive just a few years ago, that we did not have access to any other brand except Sasha, Black Opal. There's another one that I can't remember, the local one, and maybe 1 or 2 foreign brands. But it's insane when I look back, literally within a short space of time, the excessivism and the amount of choice that we have, whether it be budget brands, luxury brands, all these different things. But it's an industry that I really loved. I really did. And I still do. But like I said, my relationship with it has changed. So I love it in a completely different way. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to the industry the experiences that I've had. I'm not fully out of it yet. Like I still have brides booked for 2024, and I'm still taking carnival makeup and hair bookings for Carnival 2024, because it is a part of me, and it is where I'm at. And while I am putting things in place to transition into new things, um, I know that there's someone out there who would be able to take my grandmother's legacy to a different level and do a better job than I can. So I'm excited to see what the future holds, both for myself as well as my grandmother and my mom and my business, because I call it that because it's literally 3 generations of blood, sweat, and tears, and passion and love and great energy that has gone into that. So I can't wait to see what the future holds, but I know it's going to be amazing.
Did this change prompt you to want to cause an effect or bring change to your industry? What kind of changes, if so?
Yeah, initially, yes, but now the answer to that is not so much because of my internal self-discoveries. So there's something in us where when we find a realization about the way we see things, there's something in us that wants to show people that way as well. And so a lot of people find this path that works for them, and they're like, "Oh my God, this works. Let me try to share it with the world," because we just have so much love to give inside of us. And when we realize something simple, that a simple mind shift, a mentality shift can change your entire world, you want to share this with people. You want to show people as well. But like very, very quickly on my journey, I've realized that there's no other way to change the world other than to change yourself. And you remember we were talking about embodiment before we started the podcast, and we realized that we ended up talking a lot and we needed to actually start the podcast because it was such good stuff that was coming up. So
Yeah.
to go back to embodying, right? That's essentially that changed really quickly where I am not here to to really preach, to preach to the world. Well, this is how it is, and this is what you need to see, and this is a path that you can follow, and these are the things that will help you to see it too. It's not so much that anymore. While it is an important message that inner beauty is far more important than outer beauty, um, it is a powerful message. I believe that embodying that message rather than speaking it or trying to rally people towards it is more powerful and more aligned with sharing the message than actually sharing the message. Embodying it is more empowering to the world than speaking it or trying to change someone. So that's where I'm at now, where I really just want to live my truth, literally live it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to have to convince anybody about it. I don't think that we have to. I think everyone is here on their own individual, unique journey, and everyone has an inner voice. And if I had listened to everybody else's, all the other spiritual teachers or beauticians or educators or path people that talks about different paths, I wouldn't have come to where I'm at now. And I'm so proud of myself and where I've reached, because it really takes a lot of work. It really takes a lot of work to embody rather than just talk. So to answer your question, yes, I do feel like it is an important message to share, but I don't want to share the message actively. I want to embody the message, and then that would have the ripple effects that I think is needed for the world.
Possible to achieve the perfect face and body. Is this representative of society's standard for beauty? Do you see that society's high beauty standards affect us and how we view ourselves and others?
Well, I actually have a lot of hope in the younger generations. I am seeing such amazing makeup trends coming out, not just in the fantasy makeup world or the creative makeup world where the artist is really challenged to create like amazing works of art, but I'm also seeing amazing artistry capabilities in soft glam and simple makeup. And I'm seeing a lot of the younger ones actually wanting more natural glam, natural makeup. They want their hair more natural. That's what's trending these days. Nobody wants their hairstyles stiff and glued up and gelled up. Everybody wants more natural, bouncy waves with volume and this and that. So even though we're putting in an hour or two of blow dry and curling and makeup and eyeliner and lashes and this and that, we're still putting it in, but we're creating um, trends wise now, at least, something more natural, which gives me a lot of hope in the younger generation and the way that the eyes are developing and changing, because beauty is essentially an ever evolving visual something when you think about it. It's something to do with the sense of seeing. So when you talk about if something is beautiful, yes, it can sound beautiful, yes, it could feel beautiful, whatever, but it's really all about visuals mostly, right? So that sense of seeing something beautiful, that collective visual, um, it's collective, meaning that if something is on the front of a magazine, then the majority of the world will take that for what beautiful is, right? Um, so yes, there's there's the magazines that are telling us what beauty is, but at the same time, I feel like we still have an inner discernment to say, well, I don't really think that is that beautiful. I think this is beautiful. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is beauty is subjective. All right. What is beautiful? Your double wing cut crease eyeliner might be beautiful to you, but I may see it on scrolling through Instagram and think, "Ew, it's a little too much." So how do we know for ourselves, for sure, for certain, for ourselves, what is actually beautiful or not? you know um and that's where I have trust in the younger generation, in the sense that I think beauty will always exist, because I think it's important to love your body, adorn your body, even with fashion. Like I love fashion is such an amazing expression of self. um and so is hair and makeup, so is nails. It's all self-expression as well. So at the end of the day, I think it's just a matter of us doing what we think is beautiful to us and what we think is best for us and how it makes us feel. All we need to do is not, I don't need to bad talk the industry and the really unrealistic standards that are being set by Hollywood. I think the message really is, what is your relationship with this beauty procedure or beauty product or hairstyle or nail, whatever? What is our relationship with it? Why am I doing this? And really be true to yourself. And maybe that's the message that I want to share, because at the end of the day, when I see someone else rocking an amazing hairstyle or just some sick nails or just like an amazing face beat, it gives me life. It still does. It lights me up and it makes me happy to see, because at the end of the day, when you see something that's appealing to the eyes, it makes you happy. So if we're going around really and truly all being dull and gray hair, no offense to gray hair, I have a gray patch right now that I'm loving. But if we're going around really being excessively unkept, there's no visual stimulation to make the world a beautiful place again. So it's not about any one side of just being soft glam only and only or barely wearing anything because natural beauty is it. It's all about where we're at, and everybody's at a different place. There's some people who are going to say, hell no, I don't wear makeup, never me and that ever in this lifetime. And they are beautiful. And they will be beautiful no matter what. In fact, I admire those people. I know people like that. And I'm like, how could you leave the house without powder? You know? So yeah, it's just, I think the bottom line is it's our relationship. It's our relationship with beauty standards and how we truly feel about ourselves on the inside that really matters.
Our Think Fast
Mhm.
question segment. Just 5 questions. So
Okay.
let's go. What does travel with a purpose mean to you?
Travel with a purpose means to me not overbooking your tours or your schedule ahead of time. It means more immersing into the local community and going with the flow from there and not seeing any particular city or country um, as just to get it off the bucket list, but to truly go in with a perspective to learn and immerse yourself in the culture and the people and really just explore your curiosity from there. I think a lot of times my travel in the past has been to, okay, go to this particular spot and make sure and get those particular pictures. And then we have to go to that restaurant and make sure we eat because that is a 5-star. And we should make sure to taste that food before. So you have a list of things that you want to accomplish, like long before you even touch down in the country, you know? And that I think is no longer how I want to travel. I think really, really allowing yourself to settle into each city or country and then finding the little tours or the little vendor to tell you where would be a good meal or really immersing more into the local rootsy aspect of each place rather than just going on the surface level of accomplishing things that would look pretty on Instagram.
Which local beauty company was the premier cosmetic brand for Miss Universe pageant held in Trinidad and Tobago in 1999 and the Miss USA pageant held in 2000 and 2001?
Well, that's obviously an answer I'm going to know. It is Sasha Cosmetics.
The one and only, the one and
Yeah.
Aruna Maharaj bride is not complete without.
Ooh, that's a good one. Because I always say that every small part contributes to the final product. And every small part, whether it be a piece of jewelry, a little bit of highlighter, an eyelash, an eyeliner. Oh my God, I can't. Okay, whew, it'll have to be false lashes. I feel like for photography and just having that finished look, um, every bride needs a little, even if it's very natural, but they need some sort of enhancement to lashes. That's for sure.
Not so true because it's a total different story. In reality, this is on print in photography.
Yeah.
What kind of makeup do witches wear?
Witches?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Um, 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 spooky makeup? I don't know. No, I give up.
Okay. So witches wear mascara.
Mascara. Okay.
Oh, yeah. When you leave Trinidad and Tobago, you miss.
Curry. Yeah, curry for sure.
Yeah, that,
When I come home, my first meal is usually curry something, curry anything. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because they don't do it like we do.
They don't do it like we do. And I love my shadow benny. I don't care what anybody says. I love shadow benny so much.
Shot about his life.
Yeah.
Thanks for popping by the Poopa's party, gracing us with your beautiful presence, your inspiring story, and such insightful information that's going to make all of us pause, if not stop, and
Mm.
think and reflect.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, mission accomplished, definitely. They can connect with you on the socials at Aruna Maharaj underscore TT on Instagram
Mhm.
and Madam Maharaj Beauty.
Aruna Maharaj, you'd find me or you'd find my account. And same thing with Madam Maharaj for the business account. On any of the platforms, once you type in Madam Maharaj School, you should be able to find us.
Great. That's so wonderful. So until next time, be kind to yourself and look out for each other. Bye.
Bye.